Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Well, let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now, today's first story comes from a throwaway account who says, my female 25 fiance, male 25, wants to postpone our wedding a day before it for his brother, male 36. I'm sorry, but I'm very exhausted and emotional tonight. Please excuse my grammar and formatting. Tomorrow is supposed to be our wedding day. We've been engaged for roughly a year. Earlier today, his brother went to the ER, and I tagged along with my fiance because we were together when his brother called him. Last minute stuff. I stood in the corner while they spoke about what's going on. In short, his brother went to the ER because his heart was pounding, he felt nauseated, he was struggling to breathe, and he felt like he was dying and was constantly trembling. The doctor apparently told him that it was a panic attack. However, his brother doesn't believe this and demanded for an MRI, a sleep study. His brother is struggling to get good sleep, and fMRI. Nonetheless, fiance's brother said he can't make it to the wedding and be my boyfriend's best man. He's too scared that he's dying and insists there's something wrong with him and it can't be a panic attack. I know this means a lot to you guys, but it's okay for me not to be there. The wedding is more important than my health. I just wished I could be there for my brother. We've been through so much together. It sucks that tomorrow is the wedding. I wish I could go. Oh, I'm not saying that my health is much more important than the wedding. I meant, you know, I wish I could be there for my brother. I just smiled and didn't say a single word. After a while, I walked out to use the bathroom and simply waited outside since fiance was wrapping up and his brother was planning to get admitted. And here's the kicker. My fiance wanted to postpone our wedding the day before the wedding. He said his brother begged to be there and said they've been through a lot together. My fiance lived alone when he was a junior to senior in high school. Brother was off to college, parents divorced, and his dad manipulated his way from his mum. And he said that our wedding should be one of the most special moments, but right now he's worried for his brother and stressed. I calmly, as best as I could, explained that tomorrow is our wedding. The after-wedding venue and wedding venue are booked. Our flight for our honeymoon is the day after the wedding. Catering and photographers are ready, etc. He refuted and begged me to understand. I got dropped off where I was staying for the night, a hotel suite where my close friends and I were chilling before the wedding. I didn't say a word to him. This isn't the first time that this has happened. His brother has had constant bouts of anxiety and panic attacks. He suffered depression too. However, every time he thinks there's something physically wrong, depression, he must need an fMRI because there has to be a tumor in his brain. Panic attack, definitely a heart attack, even if the doctors and neurologists say otherwise. His brother always says that he's working on it. However, he only tries to find a physical tie to his mental illness. Here are a few instances of plans getting cancelled due to his brother and arguments we went through. On Halloween day, I planned and asked 2 months in advance for it to be an us day. His brother had constant anxiety attacks. He forgot about our plans and was at his brother's beck and call. Earlier on in our relationship, I've asked to inform me when he's coming home or if he's late to be home. Doesn't matter how long he's out, just tell me because I get worried and anxious due to PTSD. I had a panic attack because he didn't inform me till 3 hours later. A simple text, I'm going to be late, was all I needed. Left me to have a panic attack to comfort his brother. I have emotional support Katos, and he asked if he could take my emotional supports up to his brother's apartment. We live in the same apartment complex to help him with his anxiety. I refused and said they were my emotional supports. He said they were also his cats. I refuted that we got them for me as emotional support cats in the first place. I also brought up that some of my pills, Advil for pain, sleeping pills, melatonin for insomnia, were getting taken away for his brother. I need those. He refuted that since we're in a relationship, things should be ours and he should have a say if the cat should go to his brother or not. I made it clear that a lot of my things were taken away to help younger cousins and a cousin with autism when I was younger. I don't want his brother thinking that he can take whatever he needs and the whole scenario repeating in my adult life. This whole situation was triggering and I could barely speak since I was bawling. He kept asking me to explain when I said I'm currently uncomfortable to explain. He kept pushing and got petty. Either way, while bawling, I made a compromise on occasional days for 10 to 20 minutes. He refused it and brought up how this would work if we have children. His brother kept trying and asking to make plans despite getting informed earlier that we're going away to celebrate our anniversary. He kept saying he already got tickets or flights or etc. Dates were cancelled and postponed because his brother convinced my fiance that roads were dangerous. Proceeds to take my fiance out for shopping, driving around and etc. on the same day. My fiance apologized and started setting boundaries. No last minute planning with his brother. He needs to rely on a therapist for his anxiety and shouldn't expect fiance to be at his beck and call. Still, he calls my fiance 10 times a day. None of my business, so do whichever. But in the middle of sex, he calls. Fiance doesn't respond, obviously. He gets very angry that fiance doesn't answer phone. He aggressively knocks on our door if phone isn't answered. It's loud and the noise triggers me because it sounds like someone is forcing their way in. He then lectures us about staying up all night because there are rare occasions we sleep at days off and we have finished a gaming night, and we ignore his calls because we just want to relax. Right now, my extended family and immediately family came from Florida, Canada, Philippines, California, Philadelphia, and New York. They're not staying long because it's expensive and going back the day after the wedding. The wedding venue and reception were paid for by a very, very rich close friend. They also paid for food, the 5-star hotel everyone is staying at, and photographers. All of which are going to be cancelled and no money returned because tomorrow is the wedding. The honeymoon, which was gifted to us by another close friend of mine, is about to get cancelled too. I don't know what to do. Outside of the issue with his brother, everything is healthy. He tries his best to be creative with date activities when it's his turn. He takes care of me when I'm at lowest and helps me up again. My close friends agree that he's an amazing guy, but everything becomes an issue when his brother is involved. Tonight I'm just crying my ass off and my friends are trying to cheer me up. Even my guy friends, whom I'm very close to, they're the flower boys, is staying with us just to find ways to make sure I don't cry blood. I'm very, very thankful for my friends. I just don't know how to even discuss this. Should I confront the brother, talk to my fiance again, talk to his parents? I don't know. And then we do have some edits in a moment and an update as well, which we'll cover in a second. And in any situation, I feel for anyone who's going through mental health issues and who's suffering because of it. But ultimately, this is damaging, has damaged your relationship hugely here when you're not even being prioritized in it, to the point where you're being asked to postpone your wedding the day before, all the cost implications and everything included. And it just left me questioning, what does the future hold for your relationship? What does the future look like? The fact that the brother's going to get prioritized over, your wedding day, the day before, something so important, what does that hold for your future as well? When you maybe one day get pregnant, of course you may not, but maybe what you do and you have children, who's the priority then? Does brother still get priority over everyone? And boundaries, it sounds like they've already been tried to be put in place. So I just really struggle to see where you would go with this. But Introverted Small Fry says, everything you wrote about the brother needed to be stopped by your husband. He put your relationship on the back burner. Can't even relax with you. To please his brother, and your relationship will always suffer this way. For me, this would have been the last time I let him disappoint me. I would have called off the wedding relationship altogether. Definitely the relationship until he decided to prioritize you and have his brother sort out his own problems. I would have treated this as a family reunion like another commenter said, and try salvaging what I could. Your fiance needs to get his priorities straight. OP responded saying, we've discussed about the whole situation with his brother multiple times before the engagement. One thing is, he always insists that I talk to his brother myself because I'm the one with an issue concerning his brother. I've always refused because I'm not dating his brother, and in my opinion, it's a second level relationship. Like I'm having this issue because I'm dating my fiance. In your opinion, is this valid, or should I talk to the brother and establish boundaries myself? I'm not really sure anymore in that aspect. Introverted replies to that and says, no, that's his family and it's his job to manage them. But there's your issue. He doesn't think there's an issue. He thinks all of this is normal. I would not be with someone like this. As other commenters say, he'll keep ditching you on important life moments. Will keep giving your stuff away. Will always put him first. Typical Nebula says, for me, that would be the end. I don't think I could recover from him cancelling the day before after everything is paid for and everyone has flown in from out of town. I'll still go to the reception and enjoy all the food and party without him, seeing as it's already paid for. Get one of your friends to take his place on your honeymoon, then come back and leave him to live his happy ever after with his brother. Mammoth Seaweed says, I'm sorry OP, that would be it for me. The postponement would be a cancellation of the whole relationship. Since he wants to bring kids into the discussion about emotional support pets, let's use future kids as an example. What happens when you are pregnant? OB appointments every 3, 2, then every week, if it's a totally healthy pregnancy. Preparing everything for an infant, then the actual baby arrives and you're dealing with a brand new routine, sleep deprivation, stress, all on top of the at least 6 weeks of postpartum issues your body will go through. You don't want a husband that's going to leave all that on you alone because his adult brother can't handle his own life. He doesn't prioritize you. He doesn't put you first, and with past behavior being the best indicator of future results, he's never going to put you above his brother. Meltank745 says, wow, that's unfortunate and expensive to just cancel a wedding the day before. It's highly unlikely you'll get any money back this late in the game. I would have gone ahead with a party with your family and friends there, fiancé excluded need be. As others have said, I would strongly reevaluate this relationship. I'm trying to picture myself in your shoes and honestly don't know how you're being so calm over it. I'd probably have lost my mind and ended the relationship. A wedding isn't just a dinner reservation. Like, okay, bummer, but we can push it back to another night. It's a wedding! Good luck to you. OP responds saying, it's all thanks to the support of my friends. Family doesn't know yet since I didn't want to worry them too much. My female friends are giving me cuddles while my guy friends are kinda doing dumb crap to distract me. It's really helping me keep my crap together after crying my eyes out and eating ice cream and wontons. I'm thankful for them. Bear407 says, I think you should rope in his parents into the situation and make them have a talk to your fiancé and the brother. His brother is extremely dependent on your fiancé to the point that is quite unhealthy and not only impacting his own life, but your fiancé's too. And if you do marry your fiancé, then it will eventually impact your life and your future children's life as well. What happens if you're giving birth and the brother goes through another panic attack? Will your husband also ditch you to make sure his brother is okay? Similarly, this isn't the first time the brother has reacted like this. I assume your fiancé attended previous hospital visits and also knows what to expect. You should also know that since the doctors probably see his brother's state as critical, that even if they put the order for examination, that others who are in more critical states will be placed above him. My point is, your fiancé also has a weird dynamic with his brother as well. It's a reoccurring event, but your fiancé is acting as if this is the first time for a life and death matter. And one final comment from Individual Baby 24182 who says, friend, why are you postponing? Obviously the marriage won't work out, but if the venue, food, etc. has been paid, just host your guests and have a wonderful party. Get gorgeous photos with your family, and cut this black hole out of your life. Both the fiancé and the brother are a bottomless pit. Walk away from them, but enjoy the nice things you already planned. Go on that honeymoon alone and post the best vacation pics on your socials. And before we do cover that edit, I just want to say I think it would be interesting to find out what the parents' perspective is on this. Do they know about the dynamic between the brothers already? Are they involved? I'd just like to know that information, but we may never get that. But anyway, OP continued with the edit and says, the wedding is postponed for now. My friends are going door to door with our guests to explain that there was an emergency and the wedding is postponed. They also insisted that they call the catering, venues, etc. themselves tomorrow morning. On the plus note, everyone's joking around that one of my close friends is going to have a buffet worth of food for himself. Edit 2. There will be a party instead and his side of the family is still invited. As for the honeymoon, my friend group, 8 including myself, are scrambling to get last minute plane tickets and are renting out an Airbnb villa for 2 weeks. This led to other issues which I'm trying to resolve. Fiancé doesn't want me going on this improved vacation. So then OP does kindly come back in with an update which says, hi guys, I just wanted to make a final update and answer to any questions. First and foremost, I really want to thank you guys for your advice and kind words. Please trust me that I read through most of them and appreciate the concerns brought up. Your words and messages helped a lot during the tough time. It also gave me the opportunity to learn what is and isn't acceptable in a relationship. What happened the next day? We got married. At night around 2 AM, my fiancé called and wanted to talk. After a debate and consulting my friends, the council agreed, but one of my friends had to be there with us. He agreed. I didn't mean to, but all my emotions blew open and I raised my voice, bawled and threw insults such as, you're an effing ass. You and your brother might as well have an incest. If you don't want to marry me, just effing say so and yada yada. He took it all without a word, but he did find offensive on the incest part. I'm still not sure if I should apologize, but that is how I felt, but I believe I could have worded it better. I ended my rant with, if you're not showing up tomorrow, you can give this ring to your brother. Nonetheless, he apologized. He instantly said, I'll be there tomorrow, I promise. And he dropped me off. He went alone and reflected about this whole situation. He said he thought it through and only said what he said due to his brother's pressure. And apparently, his brother said more than just, can you postpone the wedding? I really want to be there. According to my fiance, his brother talked about how much he was struggling, how lonely he felt, how alone, and he missed the old days, and it didn't make sense for change since they were family, yada yada. In addition, while he wanted time for himself, his brother kept spam calling and texting. Here are some snips of what those texts were. I'm feeling worse and worse. The doctors are making me wait before I get an MRI. I need you, please. Fiance's nickname. We used to be close. You'd always answer my calls. If name isn't wanting you to talk to me, that's wrong. Answer your phone. You never answer your phone. There were a total of 37 missed calls. Fiance said he didn't want to postpone the wedding and was really looking forward to it. Weeks before the wedding, his friends kept talking about how my fiance wouldn't stop bragging or mentioning the wedding preparations, so I did believe him. According to fiance, he wanted time to think for himself without anyone breathing down his neck and backseat gaming his life, and he apologized for not communicating that, and he explained he tunneled and was overwhelmed. I discussed what happened in the past, the situation with the cats and medication, the cancelled plans, constant calls that disrupted even my sleep, the door banging, and things becoming about his brother whenever I wanted to do something for myself. He apologized and spoke his side that he has been working on being better by not cancelling plans, no longer pestering me about taking my emotional supports, no last minute planning, and I do agree, he was doing better. He didn't cancel plans and didn't make unreasonable last minute plans for a year. However, the calls and knocking were constant to the point of disrupting my sleep and scaring me whenever the door got banged. Fiance said that he had tried to make boundaries so many times. Boundary 1. No more spam calling. Call me once or twice, then leave a message. If I don't call you back for a few days, that means I'm busy and have other things to do, but I'll get back to you at some point. If you wanted to make plans like skiing, just leave me a Discord message and I usually respond. Here's the reason for constant calls and texts that I've never mentioned. His brother constantly asking for help like changing the tires, putting up lights, cooking something, etc. His brother also calls about groceries. There's a salmon sale, spam call. Gets angry when no response. Sees this as urgent. His brother wanted to talk about his workday, spam call. His brother wanted to give fruits, constant knocking and spam calls. Reasons for not respecting my boundary 1, according to fiance. His brother said it doesn't make sense to not spam call if fiance doesn't answer. His rebuttal was, what if it was important, and apparently a grocery sale counts as important? What if he needed help? Furthermore, according to fiance, this boundary was attempted to be established multiple times, however, his brother dismissed it. His brother grew up in the Soviet Union and moved when he was 7. Their dad has really outdated beliefs, not pushed onto me at least. His brother constantly mentioned that back in the day they can just knock and call whenever. He said it doesn't make sense for this to change and to give examples as to why this has to change. Furthermore, his brother has said, if name is calling you to do this, that's just wrong. I have mixed feelings that I will explain later. Boundary 2. No last minute planning. Fiance said that he won't do this anymore because we have plans throughout the days and when we don't, he just wants to relax and play video games. He also has work and currently we are managing finances to buy a duplex. We're doing research for that. Reason for not respecting boundary 2. It came back that fiance doesn't answer every call and apparently those calls were for planning and the same thing. What if I need help? Boundary 3. Stop knocking on the door in general. If fiance doesn't answer the phone, that means he's busy or doesn't want to talk to anyone or taking a nap. This disrupts whatever I'm doing, remote work, relaxing, sleep or other activities. Reason for not respecting boundary 3. Refer to reason for not respecting boundary 1. Major note. Fiance didn't know how to put. Things need to change because I'm trying to build my own life with OP, and I have my own life too. Nicely. His brother kept saying he understands, but we really think he doesn't. He has an on and off relationship. He's never gotten too serious with someone. He's never lived with a significant other or tried to build a life with someone else. All his brother does is work, go home, indulge in hobbies, and complains that everyone is changing. I get he is lonely, and I've been there before, but at the same time, he's not trying to improve this aspect. I even tried to convince him to get a pet because they are amazing companions. But nope. Nonetheless, I've made it clear that I don't want any of these anymore. He said that he had discussed this one last time. Fiancé answered the phone. His brother has been spam calling still. Right in front of me on speaker, fiancé repeated this boundaries, and lo and behold, the same responses were spoken. What if I need help? What if this and that? Yada yada. And fiancé said, that's it, don't come to my wedding, even if you want to, and blocked his brother. Fiancé began to apologize again and again, promising that he will show up and that he will go no contact with his brother if needed. I don't want him to go no contact at all. That's family, I get it. Family is important too. All I want is for his brother to stop with this nonsense. We went on with the wedding despite little sleep. His brother tried to attend. Fiancé repeated the same thing about boundaries. His brother refused. His brother was not present for the wedding. How did the parents react? Let me tell you, I love my mother-in-law. She is an inspiration despite the divorce and my fiancé running away from home because of his dad's manipulation. She has her crap together and is aging gorgeously. She renovated her own duplex, doesn't have to pay for mortgage, can vacation last minute, has a job that respects and treats her above and beyond. She isn't rushing into anything and is living her life. Her reaction was, I'll talk to him later. But I understand you don't want him at your wedding anymore. I understand, and it's your special day. I'm sorry for how he's been acting. Meanwhile, his father-in-law was trying to convince us to let his brother join and that he's family. Mother-in-law just rolled her eyes and walked away. I'm not close with father-in-law, but we have mutual respect. He leaves me out of their side of family issues and treats our cats like they're his grandkids, so his talk was directed to fiancé. Why didn't I see this as an issue and push it more before getting engaged? Frankly speaking, I don't know what healthy boundaries are. My real dad left. I don't hold a grudge against him. He thought and explained it was for the best because he was doing drugs and deep into alcoholism. He had been into rehab multiple times and he was better, but not for long. He never treated me harshly while he was drunk. He refused to be near me when drunk. He taught me compassion and to never judge outcasts. He tried his best, and he knew his best wasn't and will never be the best for me. He's a good yet troubled man who never found the right treatment in a third world country. He was talented, got a scholarship to the USA, played basketball really well, played for ping pong and qualified for the Olympics, but he found these things lonely. My mother was good but lived vicariously through me, and when those expectations weren't met, she hit, publicly humiliated me by yanking my hair, threatened to strip me naked and put me in the streets, and brought me to work, and when I couldn't sit still, turns out I had ADHD, she slapped me to the point of a nosebleed. She told me things. I wish I had your brother instead. I should give you to your good-for-nothing dad. Why can't you make me happy for once? And she never denied when other kids insulted me by, your mum doesn't love you. It was never healthy. I never understood what was good, and it only boiled down to, if I was good, none of these would happen. She was always busy. She never taught me life skills and expected me to learn on my own. But over time, I forgave my mum. She apologized and has been letting me live my life when I was 20. She grew up the same way I did. My grandma too. I don't excuse it, but she has gotten better. My brother left as soon as he could to not deal with my mother. He has his own life and is in a better relationship with my mum now. He apologized for just leaving me to deal with this. Once again though, I don't hold it against him. It was good he left for his own sake. I have BPD, which thankfully I'm managing healthily and have learned to self-soothe. PTSD, depression, and anxiety. All of these are being managed through medication, therapy, and DBT whenever I feel like there's a relapse. When situations with my now husband happened, I always thought that I shouldn't be burdensome. I always think, don't be selfish, it's family. You shouldn't inconvenience others because you feel like this. You're being unreasonable. It's your BPD acting up. I never understood boundaries until recently. I could barely speak my mind, but my husband has helped me speak up and communicate. My thoughts on this, and OP quotes, if a name is telling you to do this, that's just wrong, which obviously came from the brother. Then OP continues, I feel guilty. I feel like I'm taking away my husband from his brother. I've been feeling like nothing should change because my husband is with me. I feel like I'm causing a rift. I'm the one who told my husband to set boundaries. He explained that he wants these boundaries too, but he said he has troubles enforcing them because he feels like he's betraying his brother. It's his brother after all. I don't know. and I still struggle to understand what healthy boundaries are, so if you guys have any advice or resources, please do send them. And lastly, I really don't want them to go no contact. It's not pretty when you can't talk to someone you care about. His brother has asked to give more examples as to why these boundaries should be implemented, and we really don't know what other examples aside from, my husband has other things in his life. How can my husband explain this to him nicely? Things need to change because I'm trying to build my own life with name, and I have my own life too. And you don't understand that because you've never settled down with anyone. We were joking that if his brother lives with an SO, we should spam call him for every little thing just to let him get a taste of what it's like on the other end. Note, we are on our honeymoon, friends didn't buy or book anything. I couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd give this update and thank everyone for the kind words and advice. Furthermore, the cats are with someone safe, just in case his brother tries to get into our apartment and we're on vacation. And from reading all that myself, I still don't feel like that brother's going to change. I don't think he's going to understand the boundaries you set in place. One thing I think that will definitely be beneficial moving forward is to move out the same apartment block, so ASAP. I think the distance will certainly help in some way. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? What would you advise to OP? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support and time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.